What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Thursday, June 1st. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 4-game slate today, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I'm just gonna pay up here, and actually I think you're gonna get him. I think you're getting him at a pretty good discount. He's a couple $1,000s less than Kevin Gausman. Take a look at Max Scherzer. He's got a massive pitching advantage here over the Philadelphia Phillies, and that's because he pitches his best balls versus lefty and righties. I should say, he pitches his worst ball versus switch hitters by a pretty big margin, and he's not facing any switch hitters here tonight. And the Phillies have only hit 32 of his last 141 pitches. So that's a 227 batting average and a huge sample size. So Max Scherzer is $9,200 FanDuel salary, $500 less on DraftKings. He's averaging 31 fantasy points per game on the season, has an ERA of 3.54, record is 4-2. So I like Max Scherzer here versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like Francisco Alvarez. He's got a 49% batting advantage over Tajon Walker. Francisco Alvarez batting 51% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .966 OPS versus righties. Tajon Walker, he's giving up a .775 OPS versus righties. There's no at-bats versus Walker yet. Francisco Alvarez is $3,200 FanDuel salary, $400 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's got a batting average of .259, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. 2 of those were pretty big scores, 26 and 32 fantasy points. So I like Francisco Alvarez here versus Tajon Walker. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like Ryan McMahon, and he's got a 64% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Zach Davies. Ryan McMahon batting 24% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .864 OPS versus righties. Zach Davies, he's pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, 40% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.003 OPS versus lefties. And Ryan McMahon is 5 for 19 here versus Davies. It's a .263 batting average, but he's got a .996 OPS because 2 of those hits were home runs. He's got a double. So Ryan McMahon is $3,300 FanDuel salary, $1,300 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last 3 games, or all 5 of his last 5 games, and 3 of those games were monsters, scoring 28, 51, and 41 fantasy points. So he's got a batting average of .250, but he's been on fire, so I like Ryan McMahon here versus Zach Davies. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. So I like Owen Miller, and he's got a 4% batting advantage here over Kevin Gausman. Now, Owen Miller is batting 15% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .889 OPS versus righties. Kevin Gausman is pitching pretty well versus righties, only giving up a .591 OPS versus righties. But the reason that I like this pick is because Owen Miller is 3 for 6 here versus Gausman with a 1.333 OPS, and he's priced all the way down to $2,800 FanDuel salary and only $500 more on DraftKings. He's averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, has a batting average of .331. So I don't know what else you want to ask for in a value play here. So I like Owen Miller here versus Kevin Gausman.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, who do we have at the shortstop position? So here's a super value play. Take a look at Harold Castro with an 83% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Zach Davies. Harold Castro batting 43% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .632 OPS versus righties. Zach Davies, we know, pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, giving up a 1.003 OPS versus lefties. And Harold Castro is 3 for 4 here versus Davies with a 2 OPS. He's only $2,300 FanDuel salary, 100 more on DraftKings. Now, he's averaging 6 fantasy points per game on the season, but he has a batting average of .271 and a good matchup here. So I like Harold Castro as a value play or a sleeper pick here versus Zach Davies. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. Who do we have here? We have Mark Canha, another value play sleeper pick. Take a look at Mark Canha with a 5% batting advantage here over Tajon Walker. Mark Canha batting 7% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .675 OPS versus righties. Tajon Walker giving up a .775 OPS versus righties. Mark Canha is 3 for 5 here versus Walker with a 1.867 OPS, and one of those hits is a home run. Only $2,500 FanDuel salary, same price on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season, but he's been hot as of late. Scored 32 fantasy points last game, has a batting average of .242, and did score fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. So I like Mark Canha as a value play sleeper pick here versus Tajon Walker.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.